Good afternoon all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, October 4th. We're looking at window traders market profile of the ES and the NQ. So did anything change in the bigger picture today? The answer is no. What did change is the bulls control today. Had a good day today. The bulls controlled it. Was very happy looking for the afternoon pullback, which we got. It spent a little more time down there than I thought it would, but because of the MGI with the value being lifted to overlap and a higher, TPO being raised, volume POC being raised, I thought we had good odds of at least going back to our POC and then playing in the upper end of the range. I did not think we would go make new highs and take back the trend day that late, but we did. Well, let's go over righty first real quick. Righty took out yesterday's low. So they are still firmly down on the daily. They go out with an afternoon pullback. They didn't get their IB until late in the day again. They do have a poor low. Okay? And NQ and us are inside days. So that should hopefully set something up decent for tomorrow, but we'll see with non-farm payroll staring us in the face for Friday. We go out with a price probe. NQ goes out with a trend day. Okay, they held their trend day. We did not. We attempted to go trend up twice. Once in E failed, and then once in L failed. NQ failed in E, but they hold L. So they go out with a double distribution day. They take back yesterday's double distribution and have an upside one today. We took back yesterday's double distribution day late here in M, but we failed to hold an upside one for today. We go out with a we go out with a price probe, a 9-wide point of control, and an afternoon pullback. And Q goes out with a price probe, double distribution day, and an afternoon pullback. They were only 8 wide. So somebody asked in the room, does this give us better odds now to come back into balance officially tomorrow by taking out today's high? And I said, no, not necessarily. Yep, we did a good job today. The market, we traded most of the day in and out of the lower distribution in the S and finally got into the upper and filled the singles. That's great. They accomplished that. But that doesn't mean we're taking out today's high tomorrow. Same with NQ. NQ took back the double distribution day from yesterday, early today in E period. Okay, and they spent a good time of the day back and forth through the upper distribution. Does that mean they're taking out today's high tomorrow? It does not, right? So that's why I go home flat and totally unbiased. What did I end up doing today? Did a lot of trading. The only trade I took in the afternoon, let's go over that one first, was a long in ES. It started in H period and it went through J, and I made 11 points on it. So I was very happy with that. So that was the only trade I took all afternoon. In the morning, though, I was long A period to go get the overnight high in ES, made 5 points on that. And then I flipped short against the single print from yesterday, made 5 points on that. I'm sorry, that was NQ, not ES. NQ, I made 5 points to get the overnight high, and then shorted 5 points inside the single prints. Okay? Then I took a short that I got very fortunate on. We took out A's low easily in the ES. NQ was having trouble. They kept coming down, but then ripping back up. I caught it perfectly. I took a short at 54 down to 44 on a 2-lot, so made 20 points on a short there. Now, before I get to my other trades, I want to show you what happened in C and D that's just as important as anything that happened today. Even though we went down pretty good in B period, we started with single prints and they were a decent set. And I always tell the room, if the market is that strong on your trend, you should have no issue taking out the previous time frame's low. Well, we did. We never took it out. So we couldn't get the IB low. That's a nuance. And then in D period, even though we went and filled the single prints, D came down again. couldn't take it out. So sometimes what doesn't happen in the market is just as important or more important than what did happen in the market, right? What did happen in the market? Well, we went trend. Well, we didn't hold trend, and we never got the IB low. So that made it even more comfortable for me when this market was pulling down in HI and J looking for those longs, because I knew they were weak early in the day. We had raised now. What changed even from early in the day? Well, on top of that MGI, well, now we had raised valued overlap in a higher. We had raised TPO. We had raised volume POC. We had raised half back. So that's why, now again, it's all odds. That doesn't mean we couldn't have gone and made a new low on the day. We even got the opening, but we never spent any time below it. So again, you see how things early in the day could transpire, could transform into what you're looking for later in the day. So that was very important. So in ES, I took a short in B period on a push-up for 2.5 points when it looked like we were going to be trend. I made 1.5 points only in C period against the single prints, but it wasn't, they went up pretty good. And then I flipped to NQ twice in C period, once to get the IB high, okay, and once when we got above, when we got to the 144 to hold it. So I made 18 points on that one. And then I looked long in ES in both D and E with the ebb and flow. Made small in D, but made nice 7.5 points in E on those type of trades. So I made 24 points in ES today and 48 in NQ. So very happy. 3 days into the week, having a very good week so far. Up 62 in ES and 188 in NQ. As far as destinations go, so for our upside today, we have 426.65 in SPY. That's today's high. Should have the other ones that I've given you. For the downside, we have the price probe, which is L's high of 424.74, 9 wide POC of 422.60, J's afternoon pullback of 421.64, and today's low of 420.56. So yesterday we dipped below 420.77, and today we did. We spent no time below there though, and we'll look at that on the chart in a moment. In the ES, the upside is today's high of 04, and for the downside, we have the price probe at 97, 9 wide at 75.25, and afternoon pullback at 65.25, and today's low of 54.25. And then let's look at the chart. So here's the weekly first, okay? Remember, upper distribution, basically, not distribution, I keep saying the wrong word. Upper balance, and then the lower balance that we've been talking about. So we dipped below it twice this week. But like I say, 1 day, 2 days doesn't make a market. You need acceptance below there. Have we gotten acceptance back into this yet? Absolutely not. Now this is showing 418.80 is the low of the week. That is wrong. I think it must be SPY's overnight. The low of the week is 420.18. Okay, so if that doesn't change at the end of the week, I'll change it because it looks worse than it does. So nothing's changed. We're still down, but for now, the bulls have defended this level here. But again, nothing will change until we take out a weekly high. And on the daily, some people might call this pure balance now because it was an inside day. I'm calling it down to balance. Quite simply because even if we take out today's high and Tuesday's high, it would still be balanced to me. It'll probably be one big balance to me until we come out of all this, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I might call it up at some point depending on how it goes, but in all reality, until we take out this high and get into this gap and things of that nature, this market would be in pretty much a big balance on both the weekly and the daily if it gets to that point. So hopefully the inside day will provide a decent opportunity. We have not tested the 200 in SPY, okay? We missed it by $1, by $1 each time, $1 and change. So it's going to be even a little higher tomorrow. Again, that's why I'm not saying because we finished strong today, up 0.75%, NQ up 1.3, that we're automatically taking out today's high. And NQ, don't forget, was in better shape. Yes, they're down on the monthly, but they still never even took out last month's low yet. And the daily, to me, was still all balanced. I never called them down. They never took out Wednesday's low. So it's a firm 10-day balance for NQ. So, hope that all makes sense to you. I hope you had a good day trading. Rest up, enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.